What's up, everybody? My name is OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We are playing as the WWE in the year 2002, rebooking the brand era. Except there's no SmackDown, it's only Raw versus Nitro because this is a continuation of our Invasion series, which I'm sure many of you know, so what's the point of even saying that? Nonetheless, though, we are here for Monday Night Raw. Quick little update for those of you who did not watch the, update video. I'm just going to go over this really quickly. I know I said previously that in the previous episode on Nitro that I was going to, that was going to be the last episode. Next episode was going to be the Sunday Night Heat Super Show, and then we were going to be doing the pay-per-view. That was before I realized that I still actually had to book some matches and make it make sense in the storyline reasons as to why they would be happening on the show instead of just pulling like an ECW December to Dismember and not announcing any matches except for like a handful and then being like, hey, guess what? So-and-so are fighting on this pay-per-view as well. Bet you didn't know that. Anyway, that is kind of why we pushed it back. So this week is pay-per-view week for sure. This will be, well, not this week, like in-game this week, but I'm sure you get that. Anyway, this, Monday week for May 2002, this will be the pay-per-view week leading up to Starrcade, which is our next pay-per-view, and that's all I've got to say about that. Now, also, because I have seen we get some questions on this. In fact, someone recently commented on a video asking me what had happened, and I think I covered this over in that update video as well. So let me just go over it real quick again here. I am aware that in the last video on Nitro, the video kind of abruptly ended out of nowhere. I'm still not 100% sure as to why that happened, but after that video was done and recorded, I had noticed that maybe a couple days later that my computer was getting a little full on storage because I hadn't been deleting files or anything, and I've had some things kind of just sitting there for a little while, so I went ahead, I deleted some of the old files. Unlike some YouTubers who I guess have big hard drives or whatnot and they have every video they've ever made, I'll be honest with you guys, I do not. I have no videos I've ever made, so if it's ever been deleted off my channel, it's deleted from the history unless some random person out in the world decided to record my WWE Universe Mode episode so-and-so of SmackDown, whatever. But, so yeah, I usually delete my videos after I'm done, but I guess I kind of got lazy with that and was letting them sit there, and maybe the storage just got too full, and by the time that I was done recording, I had no storage space for the full video, so it pretty much stopped the recording on me without me knowing, I guess, and we got what we got. That's what I think happened. I haven't had any problems since then, so fingers crossed, here's to hoping, right? Anyway, let us just move on. I have nothing else of newsworthy to mention, so let's run the show. Oh, guess what? SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom is rehydrated. It's done downloading onto my Nintendo Switch. That's one thing I guess we can talk about real quick. You know what really grinds my gears? The fact that I buy a brand new game from Walmart, pop it into my damn game system, just to be told I have to wait an hour and a half for an update to go through. Remember the good old days when you could just pop in a damn game and it would play? That's my rant of the day. But anyway, yes, in case you heard that right, I did buy SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. It's a game from my past, and I wanted to replay it, and I'm happy to see that it got an HD remake. So I don't want to hear any shit in the comment section unless you are praising SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom. Maybe not rehydrated because it may be bad, but the original's good. Anyway, that's it. Let's go ahead and let's run this show. We got a couple of pre-show matches here, so let's go ahead and start off with that. By the way, we are being held in front of 16,000 people in the Northwest. One thing I've noticed about this mod that I've never noticed before, this mod has no, actual arenas. They have, a handful of arenas that exist, but there's a lot of arenas in here that aren't in here. For instance, we're in a generic area in the Northwest. So, I mean, there could be could be realistic, and there's not any arenas in the Northwest that can hold 16,000 people, but I also wanted to hold this show in Texas, and there's no Texas in this game, apparently. So in our universe, Texas is wiped off the map. It's just one big state shared by Arizona and New Mexico, and that doesn't make sense because Arizona's not even that close to... whatever. Anyway, we've got a pre-show matchup here. It is tag team action. We went ahead and we borrowed Brian Clark from the independent scene. Brian Clark is a member of the TNA roster, so this may be helping him or maybe not helping him. Who knows? This could lessen his popularity. Speaking of TNA, in that bonus video as well, I proposed to you guys a question on whether or not we should book TNA, let the game book TNA, or maybe split the saves and have one save be TNA and the computer will be booking WWE, and the other save, of course, will be us continuing on with the invasion save and the computer doing it. I would do a poll, but I think YouTube has done away with polls, so I don't know. Maybe I'll make a straw poll or something and put it in the comments section if I can remember, and I'll check it in a couple of days, and that'll be the deciding factor. Let me know what you guys think. Anyway, can we finally just get started with the show? And a terrible pre-show matchup. The team of The Godfather and Tracy Brooklyn, better known as The Pimp Party, 2/3 of The Pimp Party, defeating the team of Brian Clark and Ivory in 7 minutes 51 seconds after The Godfather defeats Brian Clark with a STF. He not even pulling out the hoe train here tonight, going for a submission. Good for you, GF. Good for you. Tracy Brooklyn, apparently the weak link here, struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performance. Mostly this match exists because I'm hoping it'll help Tracy Brooklyn get a little better by putting her in the ring with superstars who are, well, better than her. Anyway, Tracy Brooklyn is getting better at her gimmick, which is good. Let me go ahead and plug my laptop in because, as you guys can see there, it's not dying, but it is getting a little low. And the battery light is dim on me, so I can't see everything a little well. Anyway, so Tracy is getting better at her gimmick. Who cares about the color commentary and all that? Ivory, apparently the best in-ring performer in this match, giving me a reason to start booking her again. In-ring performance of a 50. Brian Clark tying with The Godfather here. Both had a 47 in-ring performance. And Tracy Brooklyn with a 36. So, yeah, but, I mean, to be fair, I don't know her popularity, I'll be completely honest. In fact, it might be lower than her popularity. She might be in the 40 region right now. But, to be fair, she is in there with some people who are far... Ivory did better than her male counterpart, so I think Tracy's doing fine for where she's at right now. In fact, I think, given a little bit more work, she can actually be a fine specimen. Ivory and Tracy both improving in her performance skills, so that's great to hear. Tracy's improving in performance. She's already making the best of her appearances. We've got quite a stacked pre-show card here tonight, by the way, I'll say so. I went a little overboard, I won't lie. 63 solid C segment here, as we have just a random angle with Bobby Heenan and Mark Jindrak. I don't know, just feature on there to get him on. Probably issuing an open challenge, which will be accepted by an unknown superstar. I doubt any of you guys have ever heard of this superstar. Alan Jones. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever heard of Alan Jones. Anyway, 56 C- rating here. Mark Jindrak goes over the unknown Alan Jones. I mean, if we're being realistic, who would ever think Alan Jones would win? Mark Jindrak's a guy who's destined to be The Undertaker's last match. He is The Undertaker's protege. He's destined to be his final match. Alan Jones, he wishes he can be The Undertaker's last match. Yeah, right. Anyway, Mark Jindrak does go over Alan Jones in 2 minutes, 43 seconds with the super kick. Mark Jindrak and Bobby Heenan are a good pairing. I completely forgot about that. So there was actually a thought crossed my mind that maybe, just maybe, I'll split Bobby Heenan and Mark Jindrak. But now the thought's completely gone. They're a good pairing. Why would you split a good pairing? Mark Jindrak, in-ring performance of a 65. Alan Jones with a 29. Not too bad, Jones. You keep that up, who knows? Maybe you'll get called up in the future. Jindrak is also improving in his performance skills. Jindrak is just becoming... He's becoming the guy, I'm telling you. He is a prospect. Moving on, we got 6-man tag team action as The Dojo Blackman's dojo, Steve Blackman and his students Tajiri and Hayashi, almost said Hayashi, taking on The Flock, Vampiro, Bossman, and Perry Saturn. This match gets a 52D+ rating. In a pre-show bout that had subpar wrestling to it and little heat, the dojo pulls out the victory over The Flock here tonight in 12 minutes 4 seconds after Steve Blackman defeated Vampiro by pinfall. Tajiri apparently is the weak link in this matchup here tonight. I find that hard to believe. Hayashi with an in-ring performance of a 45. Oh, wow, yeah, Tajiri was way behind everyone else. Tajiri with an in-ring performance of a 29. Hayashi, though, that's good. Blackman with a 50. And then the Flock was, of course, the better of everybody in this match. In fact, Perry Saturn was the best superstar in this matchup with an in-ring performance of a 65. Bossman with a 61, Vampiro with a 64, just 1 point below Perry Saturn. We also have a couple of improvements here in the performance skill region, as Hayashi and Perry Saturn are improving in the performance. Good for them. Yes, move on, please. Moving on, we have a 35E+ rating here. Another match, hopefully just to help get Lou Fisto over here as well, along with Tracy Brooklyn. Lou Fisto is another project in our women's division to try to bolster our women's roster a bit more here. And unlike Tracy Brooklyn, Lou Fisto, I believe, is actually not too bad in the ring. So she's promising, in my opinion. In an abysmal pre-show matchup here, Lou Fisto goes over developmental star Mickie James in 6 minutes 22 seconds by submission. Lou Fisto with an in-ring performance of a 40. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think Lou Fisto's ready to start competing with some of the actual women. Maybe we get her in the ring with Ivory. Could be an option. Ivory's not doing anything. Mickie James with an in-ring performance of a 20. I mean, let's just put it this way. What did Ivory have, a 50? Lou Fisto's just 10 points below Ivory. It's not too bad in my opinion. Put her in the ring with Ivory. Ivory might be able to help her get up there to get even better. Might be a potential feud. You know what? I'm going to write that. I'm not going to write it down because that'll reveal some things. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and look at this because we have some things here. So I'll write this down in a second. So our backstage is now at 25%. We are going up. We were at 0% for the longest time after my stupid idea of giving everybody in my locker room a drug test. Never will I do that again. But it is starting to move up. Despite that, though, Deborah, as we all know, we all love her. Deborah failed to show up for a meeting, which is hilarious to me because she's not on the show. And we find her. I mean, she's not on the show, but hey, if I'm having a meeting with you, you better show up. And if you're not going to show up, I'm going to deduct your pay, bro. Next time, show up. Especially if I've given you warnings in the past. So I find her, and unfortunately, that led to both her and her husband, Stone Cold Steve Austin, not being happy with my decision. Also, much like his wife, Triple H also didn't go out drinking with the boys, and Judge JR, good old Jim Ross, found him guilty and sentenced him to buy everyone drinks as well. So, gotta love that peer pressure, right? We certainly aren't in 2020, that's for sure. Can't see that happening now. Also, The Undertaker passing along psychology to his protege, Mark Jindrak. Ignore the Hall of Fame 2003. I don't know why that's below that, but yeah, Vern Gagne is the first inductee into our Hall of Fame this year whenever we go there. XPW, Extreme Pro Wrestling, to submit. Insiders have reported that XPW is all but doomed, and even the owners have admitted that the financial hole they are in is simply too deep to get out of. Some reports have gone as far as to say that the promotion will officially announce that it is closing at the end of the month. Now, I don't think I'm going to go ahead and buy XPW. I have plenty of developmental companies as it is. It is just a shame because there's not a lot of companies out there, and another one falls. But I don't know. Did any of us think XPW was going to survive? Let's be honest. Also, Abdul the Butcher has officially retired, and he opened his own dojo, so he'll be training superstars. I'll be the first person to hire Abdul the Butcher's first trainee, let me tell you. Moving on, no worker improvements for this matchup. Ooh, I forgot to write down the one thing I wanted to write down. Can I still do? Lou Fisto versus Ivory feud. I like the sounds of that. Now, hopefully I'll remember that. Now we can move on. And finally, in our main event, Oh, wow, this did pretty good. A 58 C minus? Not too shabby, guys. Not too shabby. 58 C minus rating here. And a pre-show match that had terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat. Sabu defends the WWE Hardcore Championship. Not the WWE Hardcore Championship. It's just the Hardcore Championship. It don't have a brand. The Hardcore Championship against the likes of his best friend, Rob Van Dam, and two of our developmental stars that are apparently, well, they're apparently the best hardcore wrestlers we got down there. Honestly, I'm surprised Ricky Banderas wasn't on there, but nope. Necro Butcher and Gutter. I mean, of course, like, Terry Funk was on there, but no. So, Necro Butcher and Gutter, I decided, you know, why don't we give them a chance up here? You know, give them some time to shine, you know, why not? I knew they were going to do horrible, but hardcore match, it's their specialty, and well, Sabu is not, he won't be on our roster for very long. In fact, I think next week is his last week. He is a freelancer. We cannot re-sign him. He won't re-sign with us. In fact, he's already signed with TNA Impact, so he's gone. So, you know, I figured let's just get some hardcore championship matches in there. I was going to put him up against Ricky Banderas, but apparently Ricky Banderas does not have a hardcore skill, and I didn't want to get that stupid, I could do better if you put me in matches more to my style. So I just said, whatever. Anyway, a hot crowd was against both Necro Butcher and Gutter. They told Necro Butcher to not come back, and Gutter, they just weren't particularly thrilled. Good thing they were both probably working as heels, so that works. Anyway, Rob Van Dam looked excellent out there. Isn't any shocker. He had a 74 in-ring performance. Necro Butcher with a 14. Gutter with a 12. Sabu with a 61. And Sabu retains the championship. Of course, in terms of in terms of in-ring work, Rob Van Dam was head and shoulders above everybody else. Sabu defeated Gutter with a springboard DDT, and that is his fourth defense of the Hardcore Championship. Necro Butcher is improving in performance, so at least he made the most of his appearance here tonight. Good for him. All right, let us move on and open the show, shall we? I was hoping there was going to be something in that, but there is nothing. So we are going with no drink today. Here we go. Show opens with a 75 B- rating here as we get a Raw recap, recapping what happened last week with, of course, the whole Kliq versus Hulk Hogan thing where Hulk Hogan invaded a club to attack Triple H and Co. and then got arrested. And then, of course, Kane coming to the aid of Vince McMahon and Eric Bischoff as The Undertaker looked to pretty much make them rest in peace. I should have made this a minor because it affected the storylines, and I did not want it to. That was my bad. Moving on to the next segment, Raw officially opens with an 80 solid B rating here as the Kliq's music hits and out comes the band. JR and the King talk about the arrest of Hulk Hogan and the riot he caused last week at the club the Kliq were attending, and then once in the ring, the Kliq take to the mic. And of course, Triple H is the first to talk, and he says, well, in case any of you haven't heard the news, another celebrity from the 80s falls. Hulk Hogan last week caused a riot at a local club that we were partying at. Now, when we're here at work, all cards are off the table. But once we step out into the public world, you're responsible for your actions. And the Hulkster, well, the Hulkster found that out the hard way. So we won't be seeing Hogan for a while. And when I say we, I mean us. I don't care about you people. Because you see, we know Hogan will get out. The guy's set for life. There's not a bail amount he can't pay. But while the WWE prevents us performers from putting out restraining orders and taking legal actions against other talents, you know, of course, due to us being needed to perform in the ring and whatnot, I've learned from my past. And while Hogan may not be done with us, we sure as hell are done with him. Because Stephanie has gone out and she's put a restraining order against you, meaning you can't come within 300 feet of my wife, Hulk Hogan. So now that we're done with the old news, let's move on to the new news. Dead man, I know you got some family issues, but you got something we want. So sooner or later, you'll be seeing one of us across the ring. And as for Nitro and their new world championship, I hope you're watching, Shano, because we'll be watching this Sunday. We're going to be paying close attention to whoever wins this tournament, because when they do, they will have something we want. In fact, here's a notice to any champion in the WWE. World champions all the way down to titles on Sunday Night Heat. You've got what we want. The Kliq is taking over. Not just the WWE. We're taking over this business, and we're rewriting it into our image. And there's not a damn thing anyone can do about it. And if you think you can do about it, then step up and try. And that's when the band, they stay and they wait in the ring for just a few seconds until finally Kevin Nash taps Triple H on the shoulder and tells him, "No one's coming, man. Ain't no one brave enough." But as the Kliq all begin to leave the ring, that's when Bradshaw's music hits. Former APA member, well known as JBL in real life nowadays, but he's still Bradshaw in our universe. And Bradshaw takes the mic and goes, "Nuh-uh, where in the hell you think you're going, boy?" Excuse me. "Boy, you heard me. Where you think you're going? I said it." Or excuse me, you said, "If anyone thinks that they can do something, then step up." Well, I think I can do something, so turn your ass around and let's get violent. Hold on. Calm down, you stupid redneck. You know, I respect you for stepping up, I do. But if we're gonna do this, then we'll do this later. I'm not warmed up, and I don't even have my gear on. Plus, you know, I'm gonna give you some time to think about this. Because if you step in the ring with me, I'll end your career. So you think about that, boy. And I don't know. I didn't add anything else to that, so I don't like it ending there. So maybe Bradshaw, you can be like agreeing, like, if I gotta wait, I gotta wait. But you either, it don't matter. Tonight I'm whooping your ass or something like that. But either way, that sets the match. Not for our main event of the night. We have a different main event, but that sets up a match that'll happen later on tonight between Triple H and Bradshaw. So that should be interesting. At least I think so. This angle did get the crowd hotter, so the crowd is into the show now, and Bradshaw made the most of this appearance here tonight, learning to show more charisma and developing better performance skills. Bradshaw's making a case. Moving on to our next segment, we have a... Is this really the next segment? I guess so. We have a 51D plus rated segment here, as this is one of those pre-match promos that kind of air before a match is happening. Gregory Helms is making his entrance here. If you remember, Helms made his re-debut after being injured for quite a long time, in fact. Last week, he helped his girlfriend, Molly Holly, get a victory over Tracy Brooklyn, and he is set for one-on-one action against Val Venis here, and we have this pre-match promo going on beforehand. So, anyway, Val Venis goes on, "Gregory, you should have left things alone. You should have left things alone when Molly started causing issues with Tracy. She asked Godfather and I to stay back, because this war was her business. But the second you got involved, you made this my business. Tonight, I'm going to show you how to treat a lady. Something I got plenty of experience in." So that gained heat for the Molly Holly Tracy Brooklyn storyline we've got going on right now. And we go on to said matchup between Gregory Helms and Val Venis, which gets a 54C- rating here, and a terrible matchup. Gregory Helms goes on to defeat Val Venis in 8 minutes, 25 seconds, after, of course, a distraction from Molly Holly. Basic in-ring work here, nothing too special, nothing to write home about, but Helms does pull out the victory here tonight, apparently in a terrible match, despite both of them performing or getting a better match rating than their performance. I'm a little confused about that, but that's fine. Tracy Brooklyn, of course, doing good work at ringside, as she always does. Helms and Molly Holly have excellent chemistry when working with each other, as we already knew. Val Venis with a 48 in-ring performance, and Gregory Helms with a 49. 54 C- rating for the match altogether, though, so still a little confused about that, but that's fine. Moving on, though, we go to an 82 solid B-rated segment as backstage in the general manager's office, Kane has come at the request of both Mr. McMahon and Eric Bischoff. And Vince goes, this is Vince talking to Eric Bischoff before Kane arrives.
So, what did Taker do to you while he had you?
And Eric's just got a petrified look in his eyes, rubs his temples, and he goes, you don't want to know, Mr. McMahon. All I know, Vince, is he's got worst in mind for you. And I'm not going to let that happen. That's when Kane enters, and Vince turns to him, Kane!
Thank you for coming.
And thank you for last week.
Yes. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, Kane. I honestly don't know where I'd be right now if it wasn't for you. But I fear that now that you've gotten involved in this business with myself and your brother, well, I wouldn't be surprised if you've earned your brother's ire.
Mr. McMahon, with all due respect, I don't give a damn. It wouldn't be the first time Taker and I have been at each other's throats, and I'm sure it won't be the last. Besides, sooner or later, the dead man would come knocking on my door, looking to drag me back into the devil's grasp, and I'm not going back to that life. Oh, that's it. Okay, hold on. Let's pull up the handy-dandy notepad here. I thought we had more. So it's best to take care of it now.
Well, Kane, we wanted to reward you for helping us last week. And while this may not feel like a reward, but last week, Raven and his flock of fools tried to take your mask in. I'm sure you want some revenge.
You're damn right I do.
Well, tonight, you'll get Raven, one-on-one.
The only downside is, in order to get Raven to the agreed in the match, not only did we have to put the championship on the line, but he also requested it to be a hardcore match. So we told him no. So instead of getting Raven, we give you the choice of a member of the flock. Hold on, wait, why? Well, he's obviously setting you up for a trap. I know. I don't care. You call that freak up, and you tell him the match is on. I'll take the whole damn flock on if it means I can cut off the head of the snake.
Fearless! I like it. You got your match, Kane.
Golly. That one hurt. That's when Kane leaves, all pumped because we got an Intercontinental Championship match here tonight. And that's when Eric turns to Mr. McMahon and he goes, where the hell do we even find the flock?
I don't know. But find them. Find them, damn it. We have a match tonight.
And there you have it. Intercontinental Championship will be on the line here tonight. Eric Bischoff clearly enjoyed having the freedom to go off script, as did Kane, using that freedom to improvise to his advantage here. This also did get the crowd hotter. Kane looked good, gained heat for the downfall of the dead man. Things are looking good. Moving on, we have a 65 solid C rating here as backstage with Michael Cole now. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me at this time is the rebellious redneck, Bradshaw. Bradshaw, the show opened up with the Kliq saying that they are taking over, and you took exception to that. You're damn right I did, Cole. They're out there talking about changing the biz into their image. We've seen what their image is, and I ain't trying to live through that. We just got through one invasion, and this gang thinks they're going to run right in and pick up the scraps? Not on my watch. The hell do you want? And that's when Ron Simmons and co. walk off from screen. We just passing by. I didn't want to interrupt you. Well, the door is that way. You know, you talk a big game, John. I just hope you can back it up. 'Cause you're in there with the wolf. Ain't no time to be acting like a dog. And that's when Ron Simmons and Damnation walk off, leaving Bradshaw now alone with Cole. Bradshaw turns to Cole and he says, I ain't no dog and I ain't no wolf, Cole. I'm a cowboy. And if any animal snarls his teeth at me, I put him down. And he walks away, and Cole says, back to you guys. A little bit of interaction there between former partners, it seemed like, though. Who knows? They've been at each other's throats once before. Who knows? We can get a revisit of that any time of the week. Anyway, coming up next, 62 solid C rating. Number 1 contendership for the tag team championships are on the line as Kurt Angle and Eric Angle, the brotherly duo, take on Damnation, Ron Simmons and Rodney Mack for the right to determine who's going to face the Dudley Boyz at our next pay-per-view, which I believe might be, I don't know actually. April, May. I think it's SummerSlam is after this next one. No. So moving on, we have said tag team matchup, which gets a 67 C+ rating here. And a decent matchup, Damnation go over the Angles in 7 minutes 49 seconds when Rodney Mack defeated Eric Angle after using a foreign object. So what I'd like to imagine here is maybe Jacqueline or Jazz slid like a lead pipe in or something to Rodney Mack. And Kurt's over there distracting the referee, trying to get in because he sees what's going down. Rod Mack smacks Eric Angle in the head with the lead pipe. 1, 2, 3. Damnation is now our number 1 contenders for the tag team championships. Of course, in terms of in-ring work, Kurt Angle was head and shoulders above everybody else, which is to be expected. Eric Angle was off his game. Come on, Eric, you're already not good. Less of a... I don't need you to be off your... Although, he was at a 42. That's, it's kind of impressive for Eric Angle, I'm not going to lie. Ron Simmons and Jacqueline are a good pairing, so even if Damnation ever splits, I don't think I'm going to split them. Pretty vocal crowd didn't seem particularly thrilled with seeing Rodney Mack wrestle. That's unfortunate, because now he's a number 1 contender. Rodney Mack was really off his game here tonight. Come on, Rod. You're also not that great. Kurt Angle shown in this match. That's to be expected. Eric Angle, like I said, pulling out the surprising 42 in-ring performance. Is Eric getting decent? Kurt Angle with an in-ring performance of an 88, of course. Rodney Mack with a 40. That's still not bad for being off your game, but I don't know why the fans don't want to see him wrestle. That one always confuses me because there's like other people who have done worse than him, but the fans are okay with seeing wrestle. I don't understand that sometimes. And Ron Simmons with an in-ring performance of a 73. Good stuff all around there. Eric Angle's improving in his flyings? Okay, hold on. First off, how, Jim? Who the hell is he learning flying from? Is he learning moonsaults from his brother? Is that what it comes down to? Secondly, Eric Angle's improving? What? Who would have thought we'd see the day? Not me. Moving on, 69 C+ rating here as Damnation celebrate their victory, leading to Ron Simmons taking to the mic. Devon, the clock is ticking, my brother. It's just a matter of time before Mac and I come for those tag titles. And with this win, we now have a date. Don't make us make an example out of you two. You can join us, Devon. Ditch your fat-ass brother and come join your true family. You've got until our title match. Make the right choice, brother Devon. And then Ron Simmons sees Kurt Angle getting back up to check on his brother, and he gives Rodney Mack a nod, and then Mack proceeds to attack Kurt Angle with the lead pipe before Ron Simmons pushes Mack and yells for him to get the tables. Rodney Mack slides out of the ring, grabs the table, sets it up in the ring. He goes to pick Kurt Angle, throws him over to Simmons, but as Simmons gets ready to hit Kurt with a Dominator through the table, Eric Angle manages to get up, push Simmons, causing him to drop Kurt, but unfortunately for Eric Angle, Rodney Mack attacks Eric, Simmons joins in, and eventually Ron Simmons puts Eric Angle through the table with a spine buster, allowing Damnation to stand tall. Rodney Mack apparently underperformed. Come on. Eric Angle was very underwhelming. Give me a break. Kurt Angle was the real star. Well, duh. Gained heat for the split of the Dudley Boyz. You can't hate that, though. You can't hate that. Moving on to our next segment here, which gets a 71 B- rating here as the Dudley Boyz are backstage watching as Damnation beats down. That's a weird way if I put that. On the Angles before Michael Cole approaches him and he goes, "Bubba, Devon, if I may." "What? What do you want, Cole? You want to know what we think of Damnation? Or should we address the elephant in the room? In fact, give me that mic. Get out of here." "Devon, Ronnie Simmons and Rod Mack are now the new #1 contenders. But not only that, they have taken to trying to recruit my brother. So Devon, you'll answer? Let me do a better one. God, dude, I don't really know Devon's voice now that I think about it. I know he's all like, now do I really? But that sounds more like Big E to me. Do I really need to entertain this? No, I don't think I do. If you need an answer, then you don't know who Devon Dudley is. If you think Devon Dudley would turn his back on his family, then you don't know who Devon Dudley is. And if you think you stand a chance when you step in the ring with the greatest tag team in the professional wrestling business, then you don't know who the damn Dudleys are. Oh, my brothers, testify. Oof. A lot of growly voices here tonight. Announcing quality did help. I don't know why I read that. Devon Dudley may be using subtle mannerisms to hint at a future heel turn here. I mean, he made it pretty clear he wasn't turning, but if I'm going to be a conspiracy theorist here, he didn't say outright no. Just saying. Did gain some heat for the split of the Dudleys storyline as well. Excuse me. Moving on to our next segment here. 63 solid C rating here. As backstage, Lita and Lufisto are hanging out and around when they are approached by the WWE Women's Champion, Trish Stratus. And Trish notices Lou and she goes, Lou, oh my, you're back. That's great news. How are you feeling? Lita, of course, Lita doesn't look like she's buying into any of this, though. And she's, what do you want? I was just checking on Lou. Why? What's up? Oh, so you're not here to ask for help? Well, actually, I was going to ask, see if you'd wanted to accompany me to the ring last night, since you're facing Jazz, right? Since her and I have our issues. Well, you know what, Trish? I don't think I will accompany you out there tonight. What's your deal? My deal? My deal is that our women's champion is always looking for help, but never helps out when needed. Where were you last week? Where were you when Lou was getting injured? You know what, Trish? Jazz and I may have our issues, but as long as you're the women's champion, we'll have our issues too. And that's when Lita and Lufisto walk away, and Trish, of course, begins to walk down the hallway as well, kind of stunned and just in disbelief of what happened. Like, a bit of a 180 from Lita, but as she turns and walks away, she runs into an old friend. That old friend being Albert of her TNA days. And Trish, always happy to see an old face. Al, oh my God, how are you? Hey, I'm doing all right. Doesn't look like things are going too good for you right now, from the sounds of it, though. Oh, you heard that? I wouldn't worry about it. You know what, Al? It's just the price you pay when you're champion. You'd know a thing or two about that. Not since you left, though, but you know what? Hey, Lita may not have your back tonight, but I do. You don't have to do that, Al. I know I don't have to, but I want to. I don't want to see you getting jumped out there. I care about you, Trish. And that's when, from off camera, we hear the voice of Bobby Heenan, and he goes, "Oh, you hear that, Mark? King Kong Bundy's love child here has a crush." Mark Jindrak leans at Trish, gives her a look. Is this punk bothering you, Trish? No, actually, this is supposed to be Trish. I don't know why it says Albert. Hold on. No, actually, Al's my friend. If anyone's bothering me, it's you two. Oh, come on, baby. We're not bothering you. We're just passing through. I thought I'd check on you and make sure this ugly bastard here wasn't bothering you. But since you've made it clear that you and Al here aren't friends, now it's about you and me. We go grab a bite to eat after the show. What do you think about that, huh, sweet cheeks? Heenan starts, bragging, putting him up. Oh, come on, Trish, you can't deny an offer like that. You're gonna be going on a date with the reflection of perfection. He's the definition of just putting him up. Unfortunately for Mark Jindrak and Bobby Heenan, Trish is none too into Mark Jindrak, it would appear, because she slaps him right across the face, looks him in the eyes, and she says, "Come on, Al, I've got a match." And she walks away with Albert, leaving Mark Jindrak there just holding his face and just kind of nodding like, okay, I see you. And that will lead to our upcoming match, but I'm going ahead and get rid of some of this stuff here. There we go. Do this. That way those are separate. Save. Okay. So that helped the whatever. Who cares about the announcing quality? Trish Stratus came across as well. Albert came across as well. Mark Jindrak looked good. Gained heat for all the stories all around. Good stuff in general. You gotta love it. You got to love it. Moving on, we have a 70 C+ rating as Eric Bischoff is backstage asking around for the flock. When he's approached by all the members of the flock, of course, besides Raven, Bossman and Perry Saturn grab him by the arms, and Daphne gets close to his face, whispers, "Follow me," before we go to commercial. "64 solid C rating as we have our match with Jazz and Trish Stratus here. It's a poor match. Jazz does go over Trish Stratus in 6 minutes 22 seconds after Jacqueline interfered. We also saw Albert distract. Well, not really. So we got Jazz and Trish going on here. First time ever. Poor match, unfortunately. But Albert was out there helping out Trish, and because of what happened backstage with the whole slap, and well, Jindrak and Albert not liking each other anyway, Mark Jindrak came out and a fight ensued between Jindrak and Albert. Of course, this distracted Trish long enough for Jacqueline to get in there and attack Trish, allowing Jazz to either benefit off of Jackie's interference or hit her own move. 1, 2, 3. Jazz has just pinned the WWE Women's Champion. Trish Stratus with an in-ring performance of a 67. Jazz with a 45. Gained heat for the Reflection of Perfection storyline. I'm not entirely sure why this did not... Well, maybe it should have advanced it, though. Not gain or lost heat, if anything, but it should have advanced the storyline with Jackie and Trish. I don't know why it didn't. That's a little weird. Anyway, though, I was going to say something about this. Oh, I remember now. So, if we go to the road agent report here, Trish was actually not too happy about losing this match at all. So I had to have her be protected, which, you know, she still wasn't happy about losing. But I think it was at that moment where Jazz was fed up. Like, Jazz was kind of like, all right, I understand. Maybe, you know, I'm kind of an unknown superstar. You're the most popular female on the roster. I understand you not just wanting to lose outright to me, but what if we protect you? We make you look good. Trish, of course, still sitting there, you know, making a big deal of it, but noticing the intimidation from Jazz, cracking her knuckles, looking like, all right, bitch, if this is how it's going to be, we can fight for real. Trish decided, you know what? I actually don't mind losing here tonight. And she went ahead and did business. Thank you for doing that, Trish. I appreciate that, because I need to get Jazz over. Trish Stratus and Jazz are both improving in their performance skills, so who knows? 64C, and it's considered a poor match. We get Jazz kind of popular. This could be a great feud, in my opinion. Just saying. Okay, I was about to go look at the worker improvements, but then I remember we just looked at them. Moving on, we have a 78 solid B rating. The screen goes to black as we see both Jackie and Jazz standing over a beaten down Trish Stratus. The screen goes to black, and it returns to normal as the black bag is removed off of Eric Bischoff's head. So a little screen transition there. The blackness was supposedly, you know, it could be either taken as we're kind of seeing what Bischoff sees, and, you know, it's the blackness from inside the bag, or, you know, now the camera was on Bischoff's face and we only saw the black bag, and now that it's removed, we see more. But take it out as you want it, whatever you prefer. And anyway, Bischoff, who was led to where the flock is now staying, I guess, he is now with the flock. Anyway, Raven is sitting across the table from him, and he goes, "Eric, how you doing, man? Long time no see. So why did my birds bring you to my nest?" "He was looking for you, boss," says Daphne. "Oh, you were looking for me. Well, I guess there's a first for everything. Now tell me something, Mr. Bischoff. Why would someone of your stature be looking for a piece of trash like myself?" "Well, Raven, please, call me Mr. Raven." "I'm not going to do that. And of course, when Bischoff says, I'm not going to do that, that's when Perry Saturn just decides, when you have your like hands on someone's shoulders and you kind of like dig your hand to like their shoulder blade and you're like, okay. And you kind of like a pressure point kind of thing. I don't know. Anyway, he's doing that exactly to Eric Bischoff. And Bischoff says like, okay, fine. Mr. Raven, I'll make this quick. You remember that title match that you asked for that I told you no? But of course. Well, you've got it. Now, if you'll excuse me, not so fast, Mr. Bischoff. It is, as we discussed, correct? The title match. It is under Raven's rules, right? Yeah, whatever. No disqualification. I don't care. Now, can I go? You may. And Eric Bischoff, he goes ahead and leaves, and as he walks out of wherever the hell the flock has him, he realizes he's like in the middle of nowhere, and he just kind of looks around like, what the hell, where am I? And that's when the screen goes to static, and we probably go to a commercial break. Or maybe not. I think I have something after this. Anyway, Eric Bischoff and Raven both enjoying the freedom to go off script here tonight. Good stuff. Raven's getting better at his gimmick as well. Good stuff. 78 solid B. That's actually a really good segment. Okay. Yeah, so the screen maybe goes the static, and then it comes back with, I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know how to explain how we jump from the Kliq to now. Maybe instead of Bischoff being in the middle of nowhere, he's in the parking lot, and we see him walking by, and as we walk by, he walks by the Kliq's tour bus, and now they're all. That's when we go into that little nice screen transition here. And inside the Kliq's tour bus, they're all hanging out when Triple H decides that it's time to leave. Well, it's about that time, boys. Time for me to make an example out of some redneck trash. And Kevin Nash looks at him and says, you want some backup out there? For Bradshaw? I'll be fine, Big Kev. Thanks for offering. Let's go, Steph. And as Triple H and Stephanie go to walk out, the camera turns to Bradshaw, who is now seen walking down the hallway for his matchup with Bret Hart. What the hell? With Triple H next. All right. Moving on, we have our semi-main event of the night. These two put on one hell of a match. It's definitely going to be better than our main event. Should have made this the main event. 84 B+ rating here. And about that had great wrestling to it and good heat. Triple H does go over Bradshaw here in 10 minutes, 14 seconds after Bradshaw was disqualified. But during the match, of course, Stephanie McMahon was doing what she always does, distracting, interfering when she can, but the referee caught her and ejected her from ringside. And, well, let's just say a certain Hulk Hogan took full advantage of this, no longer having to be 300 feet away from Triple H and his wife Stephanie since she was no longer at ringside. Hulk Hogan makes his entrance through the crowd, and him and Triple H go at it, of course. This leads to disqualification, causing Bradshaw to lose. But now the Hulkster has his hands on Triple H. I can't imagine it won't be too long, though, before, the Kliq shows up or something. We already know about Triple H and Stephanie's great chemistry, but here's something amazing that's definitely going to make me want to revisit this match in the future. Bradshaw and Triple H have great chemistry, and it showed in their performance. This could be a potential feud in the future. Just saying. That's awesome. Bradshaw with an in-ring performance of a 75. Triple H killing it out there with a 90-freaking-6. Gained some heat for the storyline for Hulk Hogan and the Kliq. No worker improvements. Let's move on to our next segment here, which gets a 92 solid A. Damn it. I should have ended it with this freaking segment in this match. Instead, I went with the title match. That's going to be a hardcore match. It's probably going to bomb. Damn it to hell, Steve. Damn it to hell. Anyway, the referee calls for the bell as Hulk Hogan and Triple H trade blows in the middle of the ring until Bradshaw helps Hulk Hogan and attacks Triple H from behind, giving Hogan the upper hand on the game here. Meanwhile, back in the parking lot, oh boy, I think this is where we see the Kliq come out. The Kliq is, what's this? The Kliq is trying to get out of their tour bus to come to Triple H's aid. I wonder what's going on here. The camera, though, pans out and it reveals that Hulk Hogan's monster truck, Hulk Hogan parked right in front of where the door is supposed to open for the Kliq's tour bus. The Kliq is trapped in the tour bus right now. Back in the ring, Hulk Hogan and Bradshaw are now taking turns whipping Triple H. Hogan's got his, well, iconic Hulk Hogan weight belt. Bradshaw, being the cowboy redneck that he is, has got his bullwhip. The two of them are respectively just whipping the back of Triple H until finally Stephanie McMahon comes running out with a bunch of security guards. Bradshaw warns Hulk Hogan because, well, he could be arrested. And him and Hogan get the hell out of there, running through the crowd while Stephanie checks on her husband. This should have been the end of Raw. Why did I not make it the end of Raw? Why did I think, oh, the Intercontinental title match should be the end of Raw? Golly. 92A? This was it. This was it. Man, if Raven and Kane pull out if they somehow do better than this, I don't know what I'll do. I'll be honest. I'll shit a fucking brick or something, I swear. Stephanie McMahon apparently was very underwhelming. They're just calling you ugly because I'm pretty sure you were rated on sex appeal. I'm just saying. Gained heat for the Hulk Hogan storyline. So, all in all, good stuff. Damn, I wish this was the main event. All right, moving on to our next segment. As we see Kane coming out as, despite all that chaos, we still have a hardcore match to take place here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Kane defends the Intercontinental Championship against Raven in a hardcore match, and that match is next. So we move on to said match. Okay, no, it's not. It's not our main event. I was about to flip the fuck out if this was our main event. During the commercial break, RVD and Sabu were leaving the arena when this happened. And we can hear what they're saying. So RVD's talking to Sabu, and he's like, "Can you believe Matt didn't show up again? That's 2 weeks in a row that this dude has ducked me. But you know what? That's okay. Because sooner or later, I'm going to get my hands on Matthew Hardy. And there ain't going to be anywhere for him to run." That's when a random fan approaches RVD and Sabu. He's excuse me. I don't mean to bother you guys. I'm just a huge fan, and I was wondering if I could get your autographs. Sure thing, dude. What's your name? Can you make it out to Matt Hardy's #1 fan? Huh? Hey, is this a joke? And that's when the fan kicks RVD right in the nuts. Sabu, of course, goes to grab him because, well, his friend just got kicked in the nuts. And Matt Hardy attacks Sabu from behind with some sort of foreign object. It's a bit dark, so I can't exactly see what it was. He now picks Sabu up. He just smashing his face against the hood of the car a couple times and then hits a twist of fate. Oh, my God, right on the pavement, right on the road. And now the fan who just... What the hell? He just put a referee shirt on. Can he do that? And the fan counts the 3. Is Matt Hardy the new hardcore champion? Well, they're leaving with it, so I have no idea what just happened here, but some fan conspired with Matt Hardy to screw over Sabu and RVD here? That's what it looked like. Anyway, though, 76B-, I think Matt Hardy's now our hardcore champion, and that goes ahead and advances the real Team Extreme storyline. Okay, here we go, guys. Main event time. Please be something... Okay, you know what? I could take a 77 solid B. I could take a 77 solid B. That's fine. It's okay. It's not a B-. It's not even a C+, which is even worse than a B-. I don't know if it did better than Bradshaw and Triple H. I don't think it did. I think Bradshaw and Triple H got a B+, and then it ended with an A segment. But you know what? I'm okay with a 77 solid B. It's a good way to end off the show still. I think it's a fine way to end off the show. Anyway, our main event of the night, and a good match here. Raven does the unthinkable. Raven beats Kane in 13 minutes, 8 seconds with a Raven effect. Following interference, of course, we saw all the flock get involved. Vampiro, Perry Saturn, Bossman, Daphne's out there. But the interference that did it all, as Kane is getting ready for that choke slam, the lights go out. We hear the gong. Kane is all stunned, wondering, looking around for the Undertaker, thinking the dead man's coming out for his revenge. Unfortunately for him, Raven effect right on the Intercontinental Championship. 1, 2, 3. Raven is now the new Intercontinental Champion. 73 in-ring performance for Raven. Kane with an 82. No worker improvements, but that ends off the show with Raven and the flock celebrating as Kane just kind of sits there, maybe sits up or something. But Kane's been screwed. Oh, look, Kane. I could perform better if you used me in matches. I'm not good in hardcore matches. Bullshit, Kane. Bullshit. I've seen you. I hate that. To any modders out there, when you're making a save, everyone should have at least, I would say, like a 30. At least a 30 in hardcore. If you give them like a 0, you're pretty much telling me they couldn't even swing a chair around. Come on, guys. Kane, not hardcore? Are you kidding me? Whatever. But he had a hardcore match. One of the greatest hardcore matches in WrestleMania history against Big Show and Raven. Whatever. Anyway, 83 B+ rating. No specific comments, so we didn't increase our popularity, but we didn't lose any popularity. So I believe we are still recording. I hope we're still recording and it's not cutting off. This is the part, though, where sometimes my audio does lag behind a little bit because while this is going on, I don't know what happens. Maybe I drop frames. Something happens to cause my audio to sometimes lag behind around this time. So if I am speaking about some things that haven't even happened yet and then they happened and I've moved on, that is why. Or vice versa if I'm talking about something and something else is on the screen. You guys get where I'm going with that, I think. Moving on, before we end off the show, there's not a whole lot I kind of want to go over here. Fantastic reviews for Raw, so you can't hate that. New champion in UPF, Mike Knox. I think we all know who Mike Knox is. All right, let's go ahead. Why? Are you in my shortlist? Maybe. Chaz Warrington of the Headbangers fame is now rated as toned. Good for him. Tommy Diablo signed a pay-per appearance with the WWC, which I don't know if any of you didn't watch that update video. Dixie Carter is now the owner and booker of WWC. In fact, they've gone on and hired quite a lot of like more independently guys. Like beforehand, there was a lot of older wrestlers here, like this guy, Barry Windham. In fact, I think Black Boy was like the youngest wrestler they had, aside from like some of their other people, like Carlito before I took him. But now since like Dixie Carter's come in, they've brought in like American Wild Child. I think she brought in Cash Flow. I think she also brought in Dutch Mantel, but he's a road agent. That's why. So let's see, who else did she bring in? I think she brought in anyone from Puerto Rico. Automatically came from here, for sure. Jason Blade was someone she's brought in. Jimmy Rave, probably that guy. Kevin Steen. Kevin Sullivan's another road agent guy she brought in. But yeah, there's definitely an interesting roster going on here as we have a lot of the older talents from WWC when Carlos Colon was running it, and now Dixie Carter. I'm keeping an eye on that. I think it's interesting. Moving on, Hulk Hogan says Steve Blackman doesn't connect with the fans and we should probably write him off. It's a good thing he's in an undercard tag team. And Rob Van Dam says, I like what Shannon Moore is doing in the ring. The kid is only going to get better with time. He kicked you in the nuts, Rob Van Dam. He didn't even do anything. Okay. Rob Van Dam's got high praise for a guy who kicked him in the nuts. Oh, brother. Kevin Nash is a steroid user. Let's go ahead and fine him. Kevin Nash is happy. He said, I'll pay it. Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure, I'll pay it. I've got all the money in the world. That's actually not very accurate for Kevin Nash at all. You would think he'd be very upset that he had to pay a fine. Anyway, I want to go ahead and look at a couple of things here. The Hardcore Championship, what was its prestige? I want to see if it went up at all. Didn't really do any improvements. Matt Hardy is now champion, though. He's a 2-time champion. When the hell did he hold the Hardcore Championship? Golly, it must have been a long-ass time ago. There he is. Wow! 2000, a whole 3 years ago. Or 2 years ago. Still. Oh, shit, I wasn't done looking. Raven, there it is. First time he's ever held the championship. No improvement yet. But I'm happy to see Raven as Hardcore Champion, I won't lie. So I think that's going to be about the end here. There's not entirely much else I want to go over. Real quick, as I guess I'm doing the outro, let me look at like Rodney Mack and Jazz's like popularity now. So he's around a 40. Eric Angle's got in the 40 section as well. So was Jazz. Tracy's still in the 30s. Who else? Who else? There was one more person I was like impressed with. I just can't remember. I don't remember.